am a 24-year-old woman married to my 31-year-old husband for a year. Our marriage was once peaceful, filled with love and warmth, until a horrific mistake dragged me into a nightmare I could never imagine. It all began a month ago when my husband was away on a business trip. Struggling financially, I made the desperate decision to borrow money from one of his friends, a creepy man whose propelling eyes and fake smile always made my skin crawl. In exchange for the money, he coerced me into a compromising situation. One drunken night, he took advantage of my vulnerability, and things spiraled beyond my control. I was consumed with regret, but I kept silent, hoping it was just a fleeting nightmare. Then disaster struck. Just days after my husband returned from his trip, he was in a catastrophic car accident. His vehicle crashed into a divider, leaving him severely injured and in a coma for days. I sat by his hospital bed, tears streaming down my face, praying for him to wake up. He needed multiple surgeries, first on his brain, then on his shattered femur. The hospital became my second home for 20 agonizing days. The medical bills were astronomical, far beyond our means. Our families tried to help, but it wasn't enough. That's when he reappeared, the creepy friend, posing as a savior. He offered to cover the hospital bills, pay for medications, and even brought food to the hospital. At first, I was grateful, thinking he was helping out of loyalty to my husband, but deep down, I sensed danger lurking. From the very first day, he crossed boundaries. While I sat by my husband's bedside, he'd brush my hand, whispering suggestive words. "You're exhausted. Let me take care of you." I pushed him away, my voice trembling. "Stop. You're my husband's friend. Respect him." But he smirked, his eyes gleaming with lust. "I'm just helping, aren't I? You need me." I tried to keep my distance, but the hospital was chaotic, and he always stayed longer than anyone else. By the third night, everything fell apart. I was physically and emotionally drained, sleepless for days, worry-sick about my husband, hungry, and dizzy with exhaustion. He stayed to help, and when everyone else left, he pulled me into the family rest area. "You need to relax," he murmured, his hands gripping my waist. I tried to fight back, tears streaming down my face. "Stop, I don't want this." But he was stronger, and in that moment of weakness, I gave in. He forced himself on me, and from then on, it became a horrifying routine. Every night, as the hospital sank into darkness, he returned, treating me like his possession. He whispered sweet threats. "If you refuse, I'll stop the money. Your husband will die." I was disgusted with myself, my body trembling at his touch, but I stayed silent, terrified of losing everything. During the day, when my mother-in-law and other family members were around, he played the role of the caring friend, smiling politely and asking about my husband's condition. But he still found ways to violate me. A lingering touch when handing me water, a stolen kiss behind everyone's back, or a grope as he passed me in the hallway. I tried to avoid him, but he was relentless, his eyes like daggers piercing my soul. "You're mine now," he texted me, attaching compromising photos he'd secretly taken. I deleted them, but the fear grew stronger. I kept asking myself, how do I stop this? How do I avoid a scene, protecting my husband, who lay there so fragile from more pain? I needed money to save my husband, but the cost was unbearable. Finally, after 20 days of hell, My husband was discharged. He came home still weak, needing rest and recovery. I thought the nightmare would end, but it didn't. He kept coming to our house, taking advantage of moments when no one else was around. When my mother-in-law returned to her own home or relatives were busy with work, he'd walk in like he owned the place, pulling me into the bedroom. "I missed you, stop pretending." I begged him, "Please stop, my husband is here." But he laughed. "He won't know unless you want me to tell him everything." He knew it all, from the initial loan to the nights in the hospital, and he used it to control me. I felt trapped in his web. Each day torments. I love my husband deeply and want to protect our marriage, but guilt is devouring me. I blame myself. Why was I so weak? Why didn't I scream, push him away from the start? Now I live in constant terror. He could tell my husband or families or worse, post everything online. I don't know what to do. Should I confess to my husband, even though he's still recovering and the truth could destroy him? Or should I find a way to cut this man off quietly? But how do I stop him from retaliating? I feel like a horrible person, a betrayer, and I'm desperate to break free from this cycle of manipulation and abuse. I need advice, a glimmer of hope to rebuild my life before everything collapses completely.